Blocked on IG by my brother's wife Mia for dripping hate at the bonfire. After months of tense messages, I'm left wondering if I'm the real problem. My brother insists I'm the one being disrespectful. Is family worth fighting for, or should I let go? Using a throwaway account, all names and identifiers have been removed. This has also been cross-posted to AIO with screenshots of our recent text exchanges for anyone who wishes to read everything. To begin this discussion, I acknowledge that the situation has escalated and has become a trivial back and forth at this point. I simply want to know if I am genuinely the one causing issues, or if it is even worthwhile to continue attempting to resolve things. For some background context, my brother married a woman whom we will refer to as Mia about a year ago. He met her while stationed overseas. He is a member of the military. Although he lives far away, my brother and I have always shared a strong friendship and communicated regularly via FaceTime. My brother and I have not had any significant arguments since our childhood. He has always had a very laid-back and easygoing attitude. The frequency of our calls decreased after he began dating Mia, which is to be expected. Anyway, my family had encountered Mia in person only once before their wedding, during a family vacation in Europe. During that trip, we did not spend much time together since it was a cruise, and they participated in separate excursions almost every day. She seemed pleasant at the time, and we were happy for them. They got married in the country where they currently reside in Europe, and returned to the United States a couple of months later to have a backyard wedding so that my brother's family and friends could attend. They stayed at my parents' home during the month they were here. Throughout that time, there were a few instances when my family and I found some of her behavior somewhat peculiar. Nothing outrageous, but the atmosphere felt off, and she appeared to be more of a diva than we had previously realized. One example includes the first day they arrived in the United States. My brother invited me to go shopping with them. I drove 20 minutes to my parents' house, only to discover they had left without me with no prior notice because Mia told him she doesn't want to go shopping with another woman. It takes too long. She is beautiful, so I suppose a bit of diva behavior comes with that, but I am not certain. At this stage, I am still happy for them. It is nice to see my brother content. I never had any type of argument or confrontation with Mia during the month they were here. This is relevant later, neither did my younger sibling. She became quite standoffish towards me by the end of their stay, and I tried to discuss it with her. She indicated that she did not want to talk about it and mentioned that the dynamic felt awkward, but that was essentially all there was to it. Since I do not live at my parents' house, I only saw them a few times. The drama truly begins after they return home to Europe. They leave after their month-long stay, and everything seems fine until a few months later when our younger sibling, who is 21 and non-binary, whom we will refer to as Sky, and I both notice that Mia has blocked us on Instagram. Keep in mind that this is the only platform through which we have ever contacted her, and neither of us has attempted to communicate with her since they both left. We ask my brother what is going on, and he tells us that we will need to reach out ourselves to find out. He mentions that she wants us to contact her via WhatsApp if we wish to resolve the situation. Sky reaches out first, essentially stating, "Hey, it seems like you're upset with me, let's talk about it," and Mia sends them a lengthy message outlining her reasons for disliking them. One absurd example includes, "When you were sitting at the bonfire, I could practically feel the hatred you had for me dripping from your pores." It was essentially a lengthy list of trivial reasons why those two may never become best friends, but it was harsh and seemingly came out of nowhere. Sky replies, addressing each of her points and adding their own thoughts to share. Mia responds by informing them that they have been cut off from contacting her indefinitely. Neither Mia nor my brother have communicated with Sky since. Their interaction has honestly set the tone for all my future interactions with her. I was now on the defensive since it was clear that she had a list for me next. Shortly thereafter, I reached out and it became a back-and-forth exchange. It was, in fact, a relatively civil argument. I was primarily offended and annoyed that she had blocked me without warning and was making me fight for a relationship we had just begun to establish. Throughout this exchange, she consistently threatened no contact with me as if I were a troublesome ex. I sent her multiple messages of apology for anything I could conceive that might have made her feel excluded. I believe this was her main concern with me, which of course was never my intention, and I sincerely apologized for it. Mia eventually acknowledged that it was difficult for her because I seemed very close with my siblings, and she struggled to feel included. I understand that. My siblings and I have a bond that has developed over our entire lives, and it will take time for her to be part of that, but she was never intentionally excluded when I was present. She apologizes for some of the things I mentioned that bothered me, but mostly she keeps firing back excuses for her behavior. At this stage, it seems that everything escalated due to her insecurity about joining our family. It all became intense so quickly, with lengthy messages about the most trivial matters that she used to justify her decision to block us. I believe we reached a conclusion, as I do not want to discuss our issues indefinitely, but she wants another phone call to resolve it. I become busy and forget to schedule the phone call. She sends a message expressing that it is evident I do not care and that she is done waiting for my response. She did not send a single reminder or follow-up text, and she is cutting me off. I try to discuss this with my brother, who informs me that Mia has decided she will not consider moving past anything unless I apologize for not setting up the call. I feel frustrated that I am never afforded the benefit of the doubt when it comes to my desire to resolve things, particularly from my brother. At this point, I no longer desire any type of relationship with her. It has all devolved into bickering at this stage. However, I eventually swallow my pride and send her another apology in an effort to have any kind of relationship with my brother. She seizes upon one aspect of my lengthy apology where I state, "It feels like you are looking for reasons to cut me off," and no contact continues. This occurred around October. Now it is April, and I have exchanged merely 2 messages with my brother since then. Our father reaches out to my brother on my birthday to remind him of the occasion to send a text or something, and he replies, "I know," yet never texts me. Whatever, I figured that is where we stand. This situation led to a heated argument between my brother and my father, during which my brother claimed I had disrespected his wife and cannot take accountability, in reference to my shortcoming in my apology, which is why he will not communicate with me. It has been 6 months, and all they wish to discuss is the validity of my apology to her. That leads us to the storm of texts that follow. I message my brother asking how I was disrespectful. He elaborates in great detail how it was a snide remark to say I felt she was looking for reasons to cut me off. I text him a new and improved apology for her, omitting any reference to how I felt about the situation. I express that I need space from all of this and that I am not comfortable reaching out to her myself at this moment. I know how it usually concludes. I ask him to pass on my sentiments to her. I receive no response from him. Days later, Mia contacts me, stating that this is causing my brother significant stress and that he cannot focus on work. She adds that she does not wish to revisit any issues and suggests setting up a time to talk in order to put everything behind us. I certainly want to do that. Reflecting on it, it feels as if this was a trap, so I agree to call her sometime that weekend. Unfortunately, I end up feeling very ill and miss my family's Easter gathering. I text her on Sunday morning. I rested throughout most of Saturday, and by the time I woke up it was around 3 a.m. their time, apologizing for not reaching out. I explain that I have been sick, but I should be available to call on my lunch break on Monday if I feel better after getting more rest. This ignites World War III. She starts criticizing me, insisting that I need to stop placing her in this limbo of not calling and making excuses to avoid speaking with her. I would never have agreed to anything if that were the case, but okay. It turns into a lengthy text battle of nonsense in which she essentially never believes that I am genuinely unwell, although she pretends to for the sake of argument. I text my brother after she continues to nitpick me for constantly postponing and ask where he stands. He essentially berates me, stating it is my fault I couldn't just pick a damn time and stick to it. I ultimately lose my temper a bit with both of them and block them. It is undoubtedly drama on my part, but I was ill and exhausted, and their berating pushed me over the edge. I have reached my breaking point because it seems she is searching for reasons to instigate conflicts and will never even allow me a chance to attempt to resolve the drama. At this stage, I do not know how to move forward. I feel as if I have done my utmost, but the drama is taking a toll on me. I still have both of them blocked, but our father is in communication with both of them, trying to work it out. I would appreciate hearing some objective opinions because, after continuously being told I am the problem by both of them, I am beginning to question if that is indeed the case. Is it worth it for me to pursue any type of relationship with either of them? TLDR, my brother married a woman, Mia, who blocked me and my sibling without explanation after staying with our family. Reaching out led to extensive, trivial arguments where Mia accused us of excluding her and repeatedly threatened to cut contact. I apologized multiple times in an effort to maintain a relationship with my brother, but Mia continues to find reasons to be upset. Now my brother is siding with her, and our relationship has completely deteriorated. After months of drama, I am questioning whether it is worth pursuing a relationship with them. Story 2. After 3 years of love and support, I'm questioning if I'm too sensitive or finally seeing the truth. My boyfriend broke boundaries and now I feel like someone he tolerates rather than celebrates. Should I keep hoping for change or is it time to walk away? Hello, everyone's. I apologize ahead of time for the length of this message. I am a 23-year-old female who has been in a relationship with my 25-year-old male boyfriend for over 3 years. I find it difficult to summarize my feelings because there is an overwhelming combination of love and pain. This is not a narrative about a clearly toxic partner. Rather, it reflects my deep love for someone and a relationship that once felt like home but now seems fragile. In the beginning, everything felt magical. He was patient, warm, and steady. I felt cherished. We spent hours talking, laughed until we cried, and leaned on each other in every possible way. I never doubted that I was loved. I could be my vibrant, talkative self around him and felt entirely welcomed. I sensed that I was his first choice, his best friend, his person. In many ways, he continues to be that person. He has supported me through my medical college admission test, medical school interviews, and family stress. He has carried me when my feet hurt, comforted me during anxiety episodes, reviewed my essays, assisted me in studying, and even flown across the country to be there when I needed him. He sets alarms for me, listens to my rants, and sometimes knows what I need before I vocalize it. His acts of service are countless. He has remained by my side, even when things became difficult. However, over the past year, things have changed. We have changed. It began with boundary violations that shook my sense of safety, things we had clearly agreed upon together, such as not using pornography, hentai, or marijuana. Yet I discovered that he had broken all of these boundaries multiple times. What hurt was not only the behavior but also the secrecy, the diminished trust, and the painful realization that I suddenly felt as though I had to compete with a version of desire of which I was not even a part. Since that time, sex has not felt joyful or liberating. I have been attempting to introduce excitement not out of enthusiasm, but out of fear, trying to become someone who seems desirable enough to prevent his attention from straying again. I have felt more like a performer than a partner, and I detest that. It is not who I aspire to be. Then came January, a breaking point. We had a significant argument where I spiraled and he shut down. We both said hurtful things, and since then we have been in this odd, cautious state. He has been better this year, more consistent and more communicative. He stays on phone calls, sends me text messages throughout the day, makes plans with me, comforts me, and genuinely tries. He listens more, and I can see that he has improved. Nevertheless, I still feel as if I am constantly adjusting myself to maintain peace. When I bring up issues that hurt me, he often becomes defensive, claiming that I become upset over trivial matters. I am aware of my sensitivity and I am working on it. When I am upset, I tend to stonewall, reject affection, and withdraw into silence. I know this also causes him pain. However, I have been in therapy, striving to change that behavior. I am learning what it means to not shut down when I am afraid. Still, I feel like I am the only one consistently naming issues, the only one making an effort to safeguard our emotional intimacy. I wish to create a home that remains soft even in conflict, where we do not snap at each other when we are tired or stressed, where we apologize without defensiveness, and where we remember our promises and follow through without needing reminders. And oh, the promises. He said he would send me a letter after failing to acknowledge Valentine's Day, but he never did. He promised to cook me dinner to make up for previous issues but forgot. He says sweet things, but I do not always feel his words reflected in his actions. I invest so much into him, emotional care, attention, and thoughtfulness, and I wish to be someone who is thought of and included in the same natural manner. Even now, he often neglects to update me on matters I once would have been the first to know about. He does not consistently seek me out the way I seek him. It is in the small details, not informing me that he has resolved his leasing issues and not including me in what is happening until I ask. We used to joke freely about topics like submissive behavior or playful sexual terms, but now even those discussions cause me distress due to our history. I find myself overanalyzing everything, questioning whether I am being compared to others and if I am too loud, too needy, or simply too much. Yet he has remained. He has stayed through my challenges, my moods, and my family issues. He makes me laugh like no one else can. He feels like my person, and that is what makes this situation so difficult. I long for the version of our love that felt effortless. I miss the feeling of being the one he couldn't wait to share his thoughts with. What I am asking is this what love is meant to feel like after several years? Are these merely the growing pains of two individuals attempting to navigate life together? Or are we fundamentally mismatched in how we express love, process hurt, and communicate? Should I stay and continue to grow, holding on to hope that we will rediscover our rhythm? Or do I need to acknowledge that I am beginning to feel as though I am dimming my light to maintain peace, which may indicate that this is not the relationship in which I can truly thrive anymore? To summarize, I love my boyfriend of 3 years and we have shared extraordinary moments. He goes above and beyond for me in numerous ways that most people do not. However, he has violated vital boundaries, such as those related to pornography and marijuana, has become defensive during conflicts, and lately I feel more like someone he tolerates than someone he celebrates, like I am no longer the apple of his eye. He has also grown and remained present in many aspects, but I am beginning to question whether love should require this much emotional vigilance. Am I overly sensitive, or am I finally awakening to the fact that I do not feel completely safe or seen? Perhaps the deeper question is whether I am stuck in an illusion of what love should feel like, expecting too much intimacy, warmth, genuine presence, and romantic gestures, because I am searching for something that does not exist in reality. Or is it possible that I am holding out for something authentically profound and sacred, even if I fear that wanting it makes me immature or naive. I am uncertain whether I need to mature or if it is time for me to walk away.